together, we have obtained over 4,000 signatures to our petition and almost 800 group members. Woo! This just shows what the St. Paul's family is about: friendship, commitment, faith, and determination. We want to thank Mayor Spano and the staff for having us here tonight. We want to thank John Rubo for all of his support. And we want to thank David Tubiolo, who has been a rock star this past week. He has attended every event, and we appreciate his support. David?
Sure, thank you. Can everyone hear me, or just use my voice? Which one?
No, that's good.
It's okay? All right, thank you. So very quickly, I want to just give a special round of applause to our present and our future, the students of St. Paul Apostle. Thank you, guys. That's why we're here. So before I speak, I have someone very special to announce to come forward. This man and this friend of ours is none other than Mayor Mike Spano, who's been with us from thick and thin. He started here as a county legislator, 7 minutes now as mayor. He's one of our favorite sons in the city and the county, so let's give him a round of applause to come up, Mayor Mike Spano. Just speak into it.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Ah.
There you go.
Okay, I'll be real quick. Nice round of applause again for these young people. When there's faith, there's always hope. You know, somebody who, went to St. Peter's in the beginning of my educational career, went to Our Lady of Mount Carmel over here, which has now been closed down, as you know, went on to Sacred Heart. But it's tough for all of us, especially those of us who go out of our way to work hard to earn the extra dollars, because it costs extra money, guys, in order for us to see our children have a faith-based education, because that's what we want. We want our children to learn about God. We want them to have the morals that come with that, and that's something that we fight for each and every single day, and it's a right that we've earned in this country. It's a right that we've earned. And to have essentially the rug pulled out from under you so short before the beginning of the school year is really unfortunate. But we do have the power of our voices. Already you're making the Archdiocese a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. You need to continue to press hard on Facebook and on social media. You need to continue to press hard on making those phone calls and continue to talk to the leaders of our Archdiocese. I spoke to John Cahill at least 5 times. And he's from Yonkers. He's a Yonkers son. He's a Yonkers native. Somebody, like I said, who's been through the system from Christ the King. So let's keep the faith. Let's keep on pushing forward. And let's let our faith, hopefully, like I said, things will turn out the way we need them to turn out. But it won't happen if we're not vigilant, if we're not working, if we're not speaking and getting ourselves out there to be heard. That's the only way this is going to happen. So you have my support. Tomorrow I will continue to talk to the Archdiocese again. I'm waiting for the Cardinal to call me back. And so we can have that discussion. And this is a tough time we're in. We all know that. It's a tough world. These are tough times. But you all work hard. You all deserve better. Keep the faith, and let's go and let's move on, and let's make sure we win this. God bless you all, and welcome to City Hall. My good friend David Tubiolo, where is he? Coming back here? Are you the MC?
A little bit.
All right. Well, let's hear it again for David Tubiolo.
Thank you. It's okay if I take the mask off? Thank you. So very quickly, how many people here are Irish by chance? Just how many show of hands? Who's Irish? You guys Irish by chance? reason I'm asking that. I know you are. There's a reason I'm asking. Does anyone know a little fun fact about the Irish by chance? Anyone? Frank, I look at you. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. During the Civil War, there's a little tale. When Ulysses S. Grant and General Lee sat down, they said to each other, the only reason the Union won was you had more Irish. Little fact, right? It's a fact. Thank you, Shane. Now, another fun fact. When Irish first came here, they were building our churches in the city. They were building Catholic churches. What did they do? Why did the Hibernians come up? They came up to defend the Catholic faith and the Catholic parishioners. And they physically would stand around the church and fight Protestants from tearing it down. Look up the history. It's all true. So why do I bring up the Irish? Why do I bring up some fun stories and some fun facts and some good heritage? Because I look around, I see people here. Not just Irish background, but a lot of us are Irish. I know we have fighters amongst us. I know we have parishioners amongst us. I see people like Shane Larkin, a proud Marine. I see people like Frank Brady, a proud Leitrim man. I see people around who play Gaelic football, hurling, but are business people, family people, parishioners. They're everything in between. I look at all of my brothers and sisters here, and I say, why are we here? We're all great people. We're all people who believe in family. We're all people who believe in the church, but why are we here? That's a question I have for the Cardinal. Why is there 20 schools on your list? Why are there 2,500 students without school during a pandemic? Why are there 350 students and faculty without a job now during a pandemic? These are legitimate questions, and it's not to be hurtful, as I say. It's not to be mean. It's not to be anything nasty. But these are questions I have. These are questions we have. This is not just the church. This is our community. This is our family. This is our home. Lincoln Park, Southeast Yonkers, Westchester. This is where we live. This is where we built our lives. This is where people immigrate from 3,000 miles overseas who bravely came here to build something for their children, for these children. Right here, these children. So, please do not misconstrue me. I love everyone. It's just some of us here are Irish, but I love everyone even if you're not Irish. That's what the Catholic faith is about. That's what Jesus Christ is about. Accepting everyone for who they are and coming together as a family, no matter what you are, who you are. We love everyone. But it goes back to the Archdiocese. Why are we here? Why during a pandemic? Why did you give everyone 2 days' notice? I heard today, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there was laptops ordered by teachers, correct? 2 days before we learned what was happening with the 20 schools shutting down? Why would we have laptops being ordered by teachers and principals if you're going to shut us down 2 days later? That is not only illogical, that's immoral and unethical. So once again, we ask questions. I go to the news outlets. Please film me and please film us. Why? And we want dialogue. We want respect. We want answers. People here have jobs. Some work 2, 3 jobs to send their kids to Catholic school. Why are we here during a pandemic? So on a count of 3, as one faith, one community, one family, we're going to chant, Save St. Paul's. Oh, is that okay with everyone? Thank you, John. Thanks, Shane. Ready? It's on 3. And we want to know why. So Cardinal Dolan, this is for you. Do not ignore us. Do not hide. We will not go silent into the night. We want answers. So on 3. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3.
Save St. Paul's! 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 Save St. Paul's!
John Mitchell. John Mitchell.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John Mitchell. I'm a parent of 3 boys. This week has been full of firsts on the step of City Hall, following the mayor and me getting applause. All things I'm not used to. I'm the proud father of 3 boys at St. Paul the Apostle. My wife is a proud alumni. I'm a neighbor to St. Paul's, which means I'm invested in this cause. I'm invested in all of you. I'm invested in these kids. You know, this issue has struck a chord with me. You know, if you would have asked me a year ago, you're going to lose St. Paul's, I might have pondered it for a moment and said, okay, we'll move on. I'll move on. It's not that easy. You know, I've realized how much support there is in this community, how many more friends I have than I thought I had, how much more my neighbors mean to me. And that's important stuff. It makes you realize what really matters. So here we are. Last night I had the opportunity to turn on a baseball game, something we haven't done in a long time, and it felt great. But like a lot of times this week, the minute I start to feel good, I'm pulled back down to a feeling of uncertainty, sadness, and frustration. Because as I watched batters get up to the plate, I realized that they have 3 swings. We were never in the lineup card. We didn't even know we were playing that night. We were called out before we even got in the game. And then I thought about it more. Football, you have 3 downs before you punt. We were never in the huddle. Even as kids, if the ball hits a car or the sewer cap, you got a do-over. We allow our worst criminals to have an opportunity, a stay of execution before they're condemned, before they're executed. They get one final chance. We were never afforded that right. It's just a fact. We weren't. And we're here being powers of example to our children, to our neighbors. I don't do this for a living, but here I am because it's important. And there comes a time when we all have to stand up for what's right, for things that are important. Our society and our communities have gotten far too good at turning the other way. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect you today, but it may affect you tomorrow. You know, our Catholic faith is all based on second chances, right? We repent, we do penance, we're resolved of our sins. Well, here we are, Cardinal Dolan. Our sin is that we had low enrollment during the second worst pandemic in history. That's our only sin. And here we are asking for forgiveness, asking for a second chance. When you break it down to its simplest terms, that's what it's all about. We want a second chance. We want a dialogue. We're not saying you must reopen us right now, while that would be great. We're asking for a dialogue. We want to show Cardinal Dolan that we are not simply numbers on a spreadsheet. We're not a head count. We chose Catholic school because we didn't want our children to be a number on a roster. They all have a name. They all have a face. They're all loved and cared for the minute that they walk in. And as a parent, that makes me getting on a train and going into Manhattan and working 8 hours a hell of a lot easier, because I know my children are cared for. You know, the other thing is that you can't look at a spreadsheet, you can't look at a head count and quickly determine open, close, open, close, open, close. It's not that easy. That's not why we chose Catholic school. We chose Catholic school for 2 reasons. Or, let me correct myself, we chose St. Paul's for 2 reasons, and I'm just speaking for myself. The young adults that walk out that door with a diploma in their hand, that's what we look at. I can tell you that the young adults that come out of St. Paul's are outstanding individuals. Mrs. Velarde and her staff take more pride in the young adults that leave that school than any test score or any enrollment number. It's far more important. The other thing is the academic excellence. excuse me, I did not go to St. Paul's. But the academic excellence in St. Paul's is second to none. Look at the scholarship numbers. Look at the percentage of students that go on to prestigious high schools. You can't argue it. But I'd like to know if Cardinal Dolan looked at it, or his finance team looked at it. Because again, this is not a simple mathematical equation. At least for me, it's not. And that's why I'm not satisfied with the answers I've gotten so far. And that's why we'll come out and we'll speak whenever we have the opportunity. Because the answers are not good enough. I understand low enrollment. I understand dollars and cents. I get that. But that's not the only conversation we need to have. This is not just a St. Paul's problem. This is a community problem. You know, the great mayor said he was from some schools that closed down. We have a lot of other schools in the area that closed down. If the trend continues, there will be no more Catholic schools. Not only in Yonkers, but in Westchester and New York State. There just won't. All we hear is schools closing. How many times have we heard of a new school opening? Never. And what follows after the school closed? The church closes. And then what happens to the community? The community suffers. I can speak personally. I bought my house in Lincoln Park to attend St. Paul's, school and church. All of a sudden, both those things are now in jeopardy. I know I'm not alone. The neighbors look around and go, maybe it's time to reconsider. We don't want to lose our neighborhoods. We don't want to lose our communities. So we have to stand up and speak out. Every single one of us, whenever we're afforded the opportunity, speak up and tell them that the decision is just not right. Let's have a conversation. Maybe they've got some amazing evidence that they haven't shared with us. And if they do, I don't know why they're not. We haven't gotten a lot of dialogue out of the Archdiocese yet. I am hopeful, and I'll continue to be hopeful, that when we get people like Mayor Spano on our side, David Trubino, who's made a great effort. I butchered your last name. Okay. By the end of this, I'll get it, buddy, I promise. Trubiolo, there you go. Anyway, listen, I'm going to wrap up. Enough out of me. But thank you all for coming out. And just ask yourself one question before you go home. What else can I do to help St. Paul's? It's a question that I know Shane Larkin and John Norton and all the other people that have helped us through this effort. What can I do? Because time is ticking. We have hours and days left. So let's do all we can to save this school. We've come out on a hot night. We can do more. Thank you.
Where's that St. Paul spirit? We got a little bit of motivation up there? A little bit, 3 minutes, and you give me 3 minutes.
Come on, kids, you're allowed to yell tonight. Let's make some noise.
3 minutes, you give me 3 smiling faces, whatever. All right. Good evening. My name is Shane Larkin. On July 9th, 2020, the Archdiocese of New York decided to end 71 years of history in an email. In the 11 days since, they have repeatedly dodged our efforts to contact them. Their only contact now seems geared to begging us to stop our social media blitz and accept our fate. In these 11 days, we expressed our love for our fellow condemned parishes. We amassed a Facebook following of over 800 people, have had almost 5,000 people sign our Change.org petition, and we inadvertently raised almost $7,000 despite telling people we were not looking for donations. In those 11 days, we prayed as a group in St. Paul's. We traveled to the city and prayed in St. Patrick's. We marched with our fellow parish, St. Anne's, and twice we shut down McLean Avenue with over 300 people. But it's not being listened to.
As we made our way into St. Patrick's yesterday, I was in awe of its beauty. We were greeted by a platoon of the nicest security ever compiled. We were escorted up the magnificent aisle by these wonderful employees and brought to our seats. As I looked around, I noticed how immaculately clean and polished everything was. No scratches in the woodworks nor rips in the kneelers. Looking around, I noticed the state-of-the-art security system that protects the cathedral. As Mass started, professional singers sang to us and professional readers read to us. This Mass was live streamed to the world, but the Cardinal was not there. He decided to take vacation after ending Christianity in 20 schools within the Archdiocese. Monsignor Ritchie was there. He was very welcoming and gave St. Paul's a huge rallying call by praying for us at the start of his sermon. As I walked out, I noticed the gift shop inside the church, the credit card machines to pay for candles to say prayers, and vending machines with various trinkets. It reminded me of a story of a young man long ago that visited a temple and was not very happy with what he saw. How much does St. Paul's cost to operate? How much does St. Patrick's cost to operate? How much of a security concern is it? If we really are in these troubled times, would it not be better to spread the message from a less costly environment and not a tourist attraction? At St. Paul's, we learned those 10 lessons that some very old guy transcribed on a few stones many years ago. When we look at that list, we can see how many the Archdiocese has willfully violated in doing this to us. The Archdiocese, their god is now money. It has made idols in Manhattan, such as St. Patrick's Cathedral and that opulent mansion where the Cardinal resides. It has not honored anyone's father or mother by putting us on a path whereby our children's children will not be Christians because there are no Catholic schools to teach them. It has stolen from us by asking us to participate in such programs as the Renew and Rebuild Fund, where we believe donating could strengthen our parish. The stealing continued with all the extra collections in the parish and culminated with closing us the day the Archdiocese received $29 million in federal funds. It agreed with the state to close our churches on the Sabbath through the pandemic. And it has murdered our school, as well as 73 other schools since Cardinal Dolan assumed his position. Our leaders have abandoned us. They hide from us. They have no respect for us. Why should we or any other person in the Archdiocese give them money? Why should we continue to aid an Archdiocese that continues to find new ways to victimize our children? Why does the Archdiocese expect to carry on? Who does the Archdiocese expect to carry on our Christian values when all our Catholic schools are gone? We stand with the other 19 schools because that's what good Christians do. The Archdiocese should have informed the parishes that they were in trouble. It was not very neighborly what they did. After the old guy with his stones came a young guy who told us to love our neighbor. Well, Archdiocese, give us a number, a fair number, and enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Guys, Mayor Spano, all council president, council members, all the elected officials that have helped us, made phone calls, residents of the city of Yonkers, and residents of 77 Leanne, I thank you. 11 days ago, we got this email that told us we were being shut down. We were all devastated and flabbergasted on the news. We were never given a chance or a shot to come together as a community. In 11 days, we've been on national news. We've been down to Cardinal Dolan's house. We've been across McLean Avenue, getting our message out. We are victim number 74. Cardinal Dolan, he only has 173 schools left. Who is next? They've received $29 million of federal money. I ask the same people that have received that check to reconsider your decision and give us a shot. Give us 12 months to come up with a plan that comes up with, we can come up with a 5-year plan. The Archdiocese and the Catholic Church have nothing but black eyes in the past years. They need an inspirational story to come together and bring everyone back to the Catholic Church and the schools. They're not giving us our chance. Time is running out for us. We all know that. We were only given a couple of days, and we've conquered a lot. But we ask Cardinal Dolan, Mike Deegan, Dr. Beal, please reconsider. Open our doors. By opening our doors, you're going to open our church, and it's going to open other people's churches and bring people back. We ask you to write letters. Everyone did. The letters were coming back. They're not responding to any of us. We need your help to please. Time is running out. We ask you. And I thank you for everybody here that are proud crusaders. They didn't realize the fight we were going to put up. I thank you to all the teachers who changed their whole plan to get these children through the pandemic. We were ready to come back in September, and we will come back in September if you give us a shot. So thank you all, and please let's pray that we get our message to Cardinal Dolan and they reconsider. Thank you.
For the second time this evening. Hi, I'm John Mitchell again. Listen, the parents group, we work as a group. But we can't thank enough the politicians. Mayor Mike Spano, David, Shelley, they've done a great job. The only reason we're here and we're in the position we're in is because of their voices. Unfortunately for us, the Archdiocese are not concerned with the parents, teachers, or students. Now, in the education business, that's a head scratcher. But the only reason we are where we are because of the political influence that's being exerted on the Archdiocese. We can't thank you enough. Everything you've done. Everything you've done has taken this movement from McLean Avenue to City Hall, from City Hall to Madison Avenue, from Madison Avenue to St. Patrick's Cathedral. Only possible because of those political friends that we are indebted to. So we just wanted to say thank you.
I noticed you were taping. I was going to stop. Would you offer his voice or?
Thank you for coming out. I should have thanked you too because we couldn't do it without you.
Well,
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Oh, it's green. You see it?
right, we're gonna go. Yes, take my time.
Oh, we changed again. Oh, green and yellow.
That's the problem.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. I feel something. 16.
Really? Well, you know what she is. Hey, let's go.
I had it back in December. Anybody even knew about it? But I knew I had it. December it was. I had to say yeah. Well, I'll just say it. I'll just put it out there.
Hey, see if I do that.